I mean, just being able to deliver that experience, like pulling up, whether it's in the fire truck and everybody's cheering because they see the lights and the sirens as we're arriving, or just seeing the kids' faces as the film machine turns on and they're all running over. There's really nothing else like it that we've ever seen. Just providing that much joy for people, and even the parents, having them seeing what we're seeing is always incredible.
Thank you for tuning in today to Bucks Co-Living. One of the favorite things I like to do is highlight local talent, local entrepreneurs, showing what they've been doing in Bucks County. Our guest today has been doing exactly that since middle school. He is the driving force behind most popular mobile entertainment in the area. He's got a number of businesses, but mostly it's under pafuncompany.com. You got to check this out. Daniel, thank you so much for having you today. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having us. Yeah, we're really excited to talk about what we're doing, and yeah, thank you.
Daniel, thank you for coming on today. And again, we appreciate you during this rainy time. Tell us a little about it. You grew up in Bucks County, but you started your journey a long time ago in middle school. You started a whole new entrepreneurial and volunteership with CB Cares. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so when I was going through middle school, we had like NHS requirements, all these volunteer hour requirements that I saw myself kind of struggling, trying to find different events to go to, different places to volunteer. So once I got to high school, I was like, why don't I start a volunteer group to help middle schoolers and high schoolers find these opportunities to volunteer? That's where I partnered with the local educational foundation. I went to CB South, so Central Bucks Cares, CB Cares, now known as BC Cares. But we started volunteer teams. The whole job was finding opportunities for people to volunteer at, whether it was events, whether it was schools to help out at. So we kind of just were connecting students that needed volunteer hours with organizations that needed volunteers. And we would go to these events with them. We would be like, I guess, responsible. We're the high schoolers, help make sure everything ran smoothly, coordinated for the organizations, and just, have fun. That's kind of where I started in the events industry in a way, since a lot of the places we would volunteer at were like runs, carnivals, festivals, that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what brought me into the world of events that then led to the future of doing foam parties and mini golf and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome. When I was younger, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have these organizations. So if we needed volunteer hours or anything like that, we would just like knock on doors. And then a lot of times, of course, we'd wait till the last minute to get our service hours done.
Happen all the time. Oh yeah.
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 But I mean, that's huge. I mean, you went from 0 hours to what, over 5,000 hours?
As a group, I would have to check how many hours we've done like all together as a group. But I know I definitely went, and during my time, I probably logged like 500 or 600 volunteer hours between middle school and high school. Yeah.
Were you always an entrepreneurial kid?
I mean, I guess that was the first taste of it. We weren't making any money, obviously, but it was running an organization, recruiting people, building a website, building systems, communicating texts, all the stuff I do now technically. So, that was kind of the first bit of it, but I've always wanted to have a business, and I didn't know where that would lead at the time, but obviously it led somewhere incredible. So
that's awesome.
And I've always wanted to. So yes, I've never quite dabbled before that, but yeah.
I mean, takes a lot of guts. You're going to be managing high school and middle school kids. Which one's harder, managing high school, middle school kids, or your team now? Like,
that's a good question. We have a good team, so I'd say it was harder when it was volunteering because no one got paid to be at the events. But we had a lot of no-shows and stuff like that. But there was still a lot of students that came because they loved to volunteer, not just because they had to. So we had a lot of it was both.
Nice, and you got to be front and center with a lot of people, face to face.
Yeah.
Good, bad, or ugly. You handled that. Not only mandating the hours, you're dealing with all sorts of the public. So this kind of, indoctrinated you to where you'd want to go. And you went to St. Joe's, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. And you went in for marketing. So
yeah,
was that your normal goal going in, or what was your thoughts going into college?
Yeah. So during near the end of high school is kind of like when I started also working at events. I used to work at the shops at Valley Square in Warrington. I worked with the general manager there to plan their events, to help market their events. So that was all in high school. So then that was the obvious next step is to take marketing in college. That's what I was already doing a little bit. So yeah.
That's awesome. You also are credited for photojournalism as well. Was that something that you miss doing, or do you do that? Do you help do that for your sites now?
Not as much really. I think that was more just like a club that I was participating in college, in the newspaper. That was something fun to do, I guess, on the side. But
Nice.
I don't really do that anymore. I guess.
No, too much.
Yeah.
You got too many hats in the
Yeah.
ring now.
Yes.
So, what brought you to the birth of Bucks Bubbles?
Yeah. So, like I said, I used to work at the shops at Valley Square. I had previously seen a foam party on a vacation at a resort. They were doing it in the pool, which we say we never in a pool. That's I don't know if you've ever seen them, but a lot of people they've seen the foam out there on their trips and stuff like that. So when I first started doing events there, I told them, "Hey, we need a foam machine." And the old general manager there, Tony, he was crazy, and he was like, "Let's buy it, let's do it." So we started doing foam parties there, maybe like 4 times a year, nothing crazy. But then at the same time, I think like 2021, I lost that job because the manager left. And then I also lost another job because they shut down at a gym. So both of those ended at the same time. I also made the gym buy a foam machine. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just buy your foam machine and some other event equipment that, we already have. And I took that stuff and started doing foam parties because I saw how fun they were, mostly
Nice.
how incredible they are. Yeah. Yeah.
What did those first few months look like after both jobs kind of imploded? What was your track record?
At first, I was like, I started off by planning events, that's what we were doing at both the gym and the mall. We put together, little community festivals. So like maybe I'll try that, but that was a lot harder than I expected it to be. So that's what led to doing foam parties. I think we started at the right time. It was honestly, we got very lucky. We started in March, so it was the perfect time to reach out to summer camps, which are our biggest clients. So, we were just like, hey, here's what we're doing. Brand new, it's super fun. And people were really, really excited about it. A lot of summer camps, a lot of birthdays, some festivals. So it honestly went pretty well getting those first few people on board. I was posting on the Facebook groups because everybody kind of already knew me because I was already posting about the events that we were hosting at the mall, and the gym. Yeah, it went well.
Nice. Was it easy transition from your identity from the gym and for with your manager buying the foam machines to you going on your own? Was that pretty easy transition?
I mean, it was definitely different. That was the first time that I've ever, all the decisions were mine, all the risk was mine. So it was definitely tougher because there was no one to submit an invoice to at the end of the day for the work that was done. It was just, hope it works out. But yeah, so that was the toughest part. But we were growing really quickly, growing out of our parents' garage and storage units
Mhm.
and this and that and sheds. Yeah, that's the hardest part is managing all that stuff over the years.
Who guided you to start the company part, the back end, the LLC? Was that all from marketing at St. Joe's, or was this something that you picked up along the way, you
Just
taught yourself?
figuring it out, really, I guess.
Yeah,
Mo- some of college was spent just working on this business rather than paying attention, if I'm honest.
it
And
works
there's,
out.
yeah, yeah, yes, yeah, it did.
I
So
think it's the best way to learn on your own. I mean, I went to school for teaching and history teaching, but now I'm a realtor. So
yeah,
learning on your own, teaching yourself the business. Where did a lot of people tell you you're crazy?
a little bit. Yeah, they were like, how many phone parties are you gonna do? Like, oh, and you're like, well, if we can do, one a day on average, and they're like, oh wow, 7 a week, that's a lot. But now we're at a crazy number. It's so yeah,
What
definitely, 100%.
What are your number at now?
We've probably done like 2,000 events within our five years of doing it.
Wow.
Which goes between everything we do: the mini golf, the fun fair, fire truck parties, the foam bubbles, and make it snow in the wintertime. So many. Every year we add something.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of parties.
Yeah.
What Where did you get the fire? The next one is, Fantastic Fire. Like, Where did that come out of?
So a lot of the credit I need to give to someone in Arizona. His name is Chris Weed. He's kind of the guru, if you want to call it. He started all this in Phoenix many, many years ago. So he's always helping out the entire foam community, you know, Facebook group and all that. So he does all the same stuff, the mini golf, the fire truck, and the foam I started on my own, and then everything else kind of came as a somewhat of a franchise, somewhat of a marketing cooperative. But he was the inspiration to be able to start all these things because we saw how well he does in Arizona with this foam and then with his other concepts. It only makes sense to keep adding on and following in his footsteps. And he's always there to give advice and he helps everybody out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's good that you have a community that you can ask,
Yeah.
you know, hey, is this the way to go in my business? What's going on? Have you ever met him?
Oh yeah. We have a conference every year in Arizona.
Oh, nice. So
Yeah.
there's a phone party conference.
Oh yes.
Is the phone party at the hotel? I
We
think
a couple of times they've set up phone party demos. Yeah. Yes.
that's pretty good. Not in the pool though, right? Not
Not
in the
never.
pool.
Yeah. No. Never in a pool. Dangerous. You can't see the bottom. You can't see the edge. Yeah. Never.
Yeah.
Never do
You
foam in a pool.
never think about that. Oh, I've been to phone parties. I mean, showing my age back in the day, but like shampoo and stuff like that. But that's a different type of phone parties. But
Yes.
what is something that made you say, okay, let me stay local. Let me stay in Bucks County. This is the perfect opportunity. What did you see?
We grew up here, so there's like it's not like I knew anywhere else to go, and I was still in college anyway. So we stay local. Right now, we live in Montgomery County, but we travel all over Bucks and Montgomery and Philly and Delaware and New Jersey, and not as often those other states, but a lot more in Bucks County. We do a lot of events, but Bucks County is incredible. Just
Yeah.
the amount we're always driving, so we're always getting to see the farmlands and going all over the place. So many beautiful areas, and I never would. It's not like I had a reason for choosing it. More like there was no reason not to choose it, not to go anywhere else. If that makes sense.
No, it's perfect sense. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what's comfortable.
Yes.
You know the ins and outs. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't. Again, maybe also in business, you don't get as many surprises
Mhm.
knowing the area.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen more surprises out in other areas, or what was like the biggest surprise you've seen? Like,
Uh,
business wise, logistics.
I'd have to think on that. I'm
Yeah. No, I get it. No, listen,
yeah.
if you don't have many horror stories, that's great. That's an awesome thing.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
mostly it's smooth sailing. The hardest parts are, dealing with weather, with heat, with sometimes the air quality. So, making sure we experiences are number one focus. So the biggest things are if we can't be perfect every time. So making sure that if the experience ever does slip, that we're always making sure we make it right for the client, training our staff the way, we used to run the parties. Obviously I still run parties, but we have a lot of staff now that help out. So keeping the experience, top of mind is our biggest priority.
that's awesome. You've definitely grown. I mean, now that you don't have to, you can step away just a little bit. Now you have Fantastic Fun Fair.
Mhm.
It's the third of the million companies that you have,
Yeah.
which tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So we've always seen, every event has a carnival.
Mhm.
Not every event, but schools do carnivals, festivals do carnivals. And we wanted to take just a little bit of a different twist to it. It's more of an experience. So we come with our beautiful 10 by 10 carnival tents, all fully branded. They're not like a cheap Amazon red and white striped tent. They're nice looking. We include prizes, we include music. Obviously, we set it up. We also stay there. So every one of our concepts are staffed. Carnival is the only one that's not fully staffed. Like we stay and we help show the volunteers how to run the games. But it's an experience rather than a rental. And that's for everything we do. We're never renting, we're never dropping off and leaving. We're always just making sure that everything is 100% the entire time we're there and handling everything for the client, for the birthday parents and all.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you also have the mini golf too, which you could set up anywhere, basically parking lots
Yeah.
all over. Is it more prevalent down in Jersey or Delaware, or is it around this way a little bit more?
Everywhere. Mini golf
Yeah.
is one of our more, I don't know how to put it, but mini golf is good for a company doing a company picnic. It's good for a country club doing a member event. It's good for a school. It's good for a daycare. It's good for a birthday party. One of our most versatile. We can do it inside. We can do it outside, wintertime, summertime. Mini golf has been really fun.
Oh,
Everybody loves
nice.
mini golf. So that's,
I'd like to
yeah,
do it inside. That'd be fun.
yes.
You
A
know,
little
you get
harder
to
for
sit.
us. They're very heavy, but
Oh, are
we
they?
love. Yeah, they're very high quality mini golf courses. All aluminum, LED lights on them. So it's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be a point where you think, am I doing too much? Am I being pulled too much? Have you ever felt that where you're feeling that right now?
Only in terms of like marketing. So we've got smaller concepts like that we wish we had more time to market. We have a photo, not a photo booth, but a glam bot. It's like a
All right,
360,
we'll
not
get
a
technical
360 robot, but it's
difficulties,
a
but we'll be
robot
right
that
back.
shoots slow motion
One
footage. It goes
second.
super fast around you.
There,
Um,
Dan,
did I cut
we'll
out?
pause real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll cut out real quick. Give me one pause. Just give
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
second.
Yeah.
All right, we'll edit that. Don't worry about it. So you have all these businesses. Do you ever feel like you're being pulled in a million directions at once?
So the only time I really feel like that is more in terms of marketing. We've got like some smaller brands that we wish we had more time in order to put more marketing effort behind it. One of them is kind of like the Philly Glam experience. If you ever seen on the red carpet, they have very like high end robot that shoots like a slow
Yes.
motion video around you. Yep. Um,
Yes.
so that's one. It's super cool, but we haven't had the chance to be able to market it properly, and it doesn't really line up with our other clients. Like schools don't really need it. We've done a couple proms and one wedding, but it doesn't really line up with our current client base, so it takes a lot more work. So we just having that time to be able to market some things like that is the hardest part.
That's awesome. I mean, do
Yeah.
you like sort of it's they stand on the square. If anyone else has ever seen that, like you see the clips online. You know, you stand on the square, then someone does like a 3 second pose. How's that? How fast does it shoot?
So it's not really standing on a square because it doesn't like go around you in a circle the way a regular 360 booth is. It's more like a robot off to the side that goes
Okay.
like it is 4 to 5 seconds. It just goes really quick in whatever pattern, like a quick zoom up like that. And then you give like a hair flip or any kind of like a dress twirl that does really well. And then it gets a slow motion action shot pretty much. It's
That's
really
awesome.
cool. It's really fun. But yeah, unfortunately we haven't quite gotten to use it as much as we'd like.
Well, listen, realtors, we always have a million events.
Yes.
You know, we love throwing parties for ourselves.
Yes.
So, I mean, we can definitely get you in there into the fashion
Thank
experience.
you.
You know,
Yeah.
the fact I can't flip the hair
Yes.
personally, but
Me too.
so you have all these businesses. You've been doing it for 5 years. What keeps you going through this whole thing?
I mean, just being able to deliver that experience, like pulling up, whether it's in the fire truck and everybody's cheering because they see the lights and the sirens as we're arriving, or just seeing the kids' faces as the foam machine turns on and they're all running over. There's really nothing else like it that we've ever seen. Just providing that much joy for people, and even the parents, having them seeing what we're seeing is always incredible. The one thing that I like to say about foam parties is like, I've never seen anything that keeps everybody so engaged. So like when we're at a school, 99% of the kids are participating. If you were to do other activities, half of them would not want to do anything. They're sitting off to the side. So it's just really nice seeing everybody having a blast. That's what keeps it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite event that you've been a part of so far?
Favorite event. Okay.
I know. This is the tough questions here. This
that,
is,
that,
this is
that
Bucks
is
for Living.
that is a tough question. Most likely we did someone called me last minute. They have a fire truck that comes around. It was like a bunch of parents and families that had recently lost a child. So they do like a tour during Christmas on the fire truck with Santa through the cemetery. And the fire department that did it with them before wasn't able to arrive. So they called last minute, and we were able to come, and they were all very happy to see the fire truck and be able to do that tradition. That was probably one of the most impactful and favorite events that we've done. So, yeah.
That's awesome. You even do a little bit of impact on every one of your events. I mean, you put some money and time away, correct?
Yeah. So for every party that we do, we set aside $5 of that party to use as like a special credit for different organizations. So I think like 1 or 2 years ago, Make-A-Wish did a snow party for someone. And then this year we did the King of Prussia Town Center does a block party for CHOP as a fundraiser. So we put $5 towards every party as like a credit for them to be able to have a free event. We can come out and we can help people raise money or whatever they want us to do and be a part of that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah. I mean, like, you don't have to. That's the whole point. You don't have to. You didn't have to do the volunteer hours. You have this entrepreneurial spirit in you. What does that look like behind the scenes?
It's just a lot of making sure that emails are answered, events are set up. It's always, most days during our busy season, it's wake up until 10 o'clock at night. We're doing something, whether it's, loading trucks or answering emails. Luckily, right now, my brother has taken over a bit more of that day-to-day operations type for the getting stuff ready and training staff and hiring. And I'm doing more of the marketing and emails and the client communications, but it's always just, it's fun. So it doesn't ever feel like, oh, I got another email. It's always fun.
Nice. Well, that's the whole point. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what your job is, to sell the fun. But how much work goes into one event? Let's just say, a phone party and, at a, elementary school.
And obviously it starts with us here at the house. We're mixing foam solution, loading up the truck if it's not already. And then we usually like to arrive at least an hour, depending on how big the event is, an hour early. So all in all, each event overall doesn't take too much time, but when you add it all up with the texting and emailing, sending an invoice and getting ready and all this and that, a couple hours here and there besides the actual event time. So it adds up, but luckily some of it overlaps, that we're not always doing every single thing for each time.
We'll get back to the podcast in just a second, but I just want to tell you about what I do. I've been a licensed realtor in Bucks County for the past 20 years. I serve Bucks County, Montgomery County, Philadelphia, New Jersey, all over the place. And I also have helped out hundreds of families buy, sell, and invest in real estate. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, don't hesitate to call me. Reach out, DM me, whatever you need to do, and let's start working together. All right, now we'll be back to the podcast. We're talking about, how much goes into an event. Was there a moment in time where one of the events didn't go right as planned?
It happened here and there. The toughest thing that we kind of offer is snow. So snow during like the winter time for like tree lightings and things like that is very, very dependent on the wind. So if the wind going the wrong way, then it kind of doesn't hit the area that the client's expected it to. And we try to keep, expectations. Hey, we're trying our best. But that's the biggest thing is the winter time, not to mention it's cold. Sometimes, we've been out there in 5-degree weather, which we might not do again since it doesn't really work. But yeah, that's the toughest part. So most of the time, with our other concepts, it's all pretty smooth sailing, luckily.
Well, can I get snow in July for Christmas?
We do that as well. Yeah, but we like to say you might as well just do a phone party because it's more fun in July. But we do plenty of snow at some daycares and some parties. It's 100%.
Nice. I don't know if I can work in phone parties until my broker's opens, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. In the fall, you also have Penn pumpkin. So that's the newest one.
Yeah. So that kind of started. I was listening to a business podcast, and they were talking about how they did that. Someone did that in Texas. Somehow they're doing $1 million a year in pumpkin decorating sales, which is crazy. So we were like, oh, well, that kind of fits with what we do, the experience. And so we started it up 2 years ago. We did one person as kind of a trial. And then last year we did 5, maybe 10, 15, even decorated a mall for their festival, fall festival. But pretty much we create unique and custom porch displays that go around your door. So it's very beautiful, very fall themed. And then this year we want to add an entertainment component. So we want to bring a mobile pumpkin patch to summer camps and schools and maybe even some events to have pumpkin decorating, as well as some of our carnival games there and music, maybe even throw in some snow cones and cotton candy for a food element. So a nice come to you pumpkin patch that a daycare could offer for their students, whether it's for a parent night or even just during the day for fun.
Nice. Would you implement food into the next creation, or would you stay with just, the mobile, entertainment?
Well, all of our, we had back when I worked at the gym, they had a snow cone machine, they had a cotton candy machine. So when I bought the foam machine, I was like, you know what, I'll take those two things too. So we do sometimes, people ask us, hey, can you do snow cones? Can you do cotton candy? So we either operate it for them or we rent them the machine and they operate it. So yeah, that's kind of like just a mini side thing that we'll do. And it kind of fits more for the carnival. So we definitely want to maybe increase how much we offer that. We don't really advertise it. But for the carnival, I think it definitely could be a good fit since those are kind of all carnival type foods,
Nice.
but never anything too crazier than that.
Yeah, I just wanted to know if there was the hurdles you have to jump through to, with food and stuff like that. I wasn't sure if that was something that you wanted to take on as well.
No, we definitely
Yeah.
don't want to take on any kind of official like food licensing and that. That's why it's mostly just more of a rental, and then the people that book the Snowco machine, most of the time they'll run it themselves, and we just give them the supplies.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is one piece of advice you'd like give to someone who's afraid about starting their own business? Because again, not everyone's built for 9 to 5. They some you realized it early. I know I wasn't built for 9 to 5. Now I work 24/7, but and I think it's the same thing with you. Like you knew right then and there, like you didn't want to be someone else's
Yeah.
employee. You wanted to be the boss. You wanted to run things. You had a vision. What is some advice that you give to someone that wants that path?
Yeah. So, I mean, like the biggest thing that I see to start with is not, I guess, taking it seriously enough, pricing yourself too low. Like when we started, we definitely made sure that, like we're creating a brand, we're taking it seriously. We're not just a backyard, like there's people that just rent bounce houses for fun. We're not trying to do that. We had our values, the experience, the branding, the making sure staff are all trained to provide that same experience. So just being willing to, invest in both yourself, the idea you have, and obviously willing to work 24/7 when needed. So that's the biggest thing. But just having those values and making sure that whatever you end up choosing, you're doing it with passion and taking it, giving it 100%. But, if you do all that, do some research, then it's just hard work after that.
Nice. So we'll do a little bit more fun stuff now. This is putting you on the spot. So what is your favorite local season in Bucks County? One for business, one for you.
I mean, the spring and the fall, when it's the perfect temperature out, you just can't beat that. Seeing the colors on the trees, since we're driving around all the time, we see the seasons change in all the areas, and it's beautiful even when there's snow on the trees, and then when it turns to, the leaves start growing back. So I definitely love when the temperature cool is 70 degrees. That's perfect. Personally. Obviously, summertime is our busiest season. So I don't want to just say that because it's our busiest as the favorite, but we love the winter when we get to do snow at festivals. It keeps us a little bit busier during the weekends. And then it's also the time for us to relax since during the week it's the least busiest in the wintertime. So that's
Nice.
kind of always nice to take it easy.
Your downtime.
Yes. Yes.
It's like
For
pool
now.
installers. They work in the summertime, but then
Yeah.
wintertime, they don't have to
Yeah.
work so much. What is you're driving around town, you do all different seasons. What is your favorite local event that you've gone to? Winter, like there's Harvest Fest, all those ones.
Yeah.
Which one
Yeah.
has been your favorite?
So I always love going to the Upper Dublin Fire and Ice Festival. It's always a lot of fun. They go crazy. As they have drone shows, fireworks. That's always fun to be a part of. But usually just getting to be a part of any big festival is always a pretty big achievement because they've trusted us to be able to provide entertainment, and we love doing it.
Nice.
And then we do a lot of parades too, and those are incredible to be able to just make it snow off the back or make bubbles off the back. And unfortunately, all the 4th of July parades, almost all of them got canceled except for Chalfont. But we were going to be in Philly making bubbles off the fire truck for their big parade. Unfortunately, we didn't get to do that, but we were really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think everyone's plans this weekend
Yes.
rained out,
Yeah. Rained out or heated out.
Yeah, I mean, either sweating your butt off or drowning.
Yeah.
What is another? So when you're on the go, what's your favorite go-to for drink wise, coffee wise? Are you going to Wawa? Or do you have a local spot that you like the best?
We do always stop by Wawa before or after an event. You got me there.
Hey, it's fine. I get it. I was in
Yes.
Harrisburg. I there was a Sheetz. There was no Wawa nearby.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. But yeah, but I do love getting whenever we get to go a little bit further away and trying out some different local restaurants in those areas. That's always fun. Or I personally some ice cream shops. If I have time, either between an event, that's where I'll go in the summer.
Hey, that's nice.
Yeah.
Is
Uh,
is there one local business or entrepreneur that you admire that you've met along the way?
we're pretty close with Ben's Balloon Animals. He's pretty awesome. He's in college now, but we technically started off back when I was working at the gym and the mall, and we would have him come to our events there. And then now we always see them, not always, but we'll run into them occasionally. We'll cross paths. The same for Kona Ice in Doylestown. We see them 25 times a year crossing paths at different events. They're just getting to talk with them and kind of share like, oh, hey, how's it going? How are you guys doing? That's the fun thing. And then a lot of food trucks too, we're also pretty close with. So the same kind of vendors that attend those events it's always fun to catch up with them. And they
Yeah,
work really hard too. So yeah.
I think it's camaraderie.
Yeah.
I've worked a lot of the events. I'm friends with a couple of the food trucks. Kona Ice just did my son's prep class.
Nice.
It was the end of the year thing, and my older son who graduated he snuck in and got some too, which was always the best. But that's also you get to look out for each other too, because you guys have you're all in the same boat. You're
Yep.
all small businesses. You know how important small businesses are for Bucks County and our
Yep.
community, and you want to support each other.
Yep.
What is
Oh, yeah.
one like hidden gem you've seen through the Bucks County area that needs a little bit more attention, you think?
Interesting question. Yeah. um,
Other than you, right?
uh, I always go back to I think it's like Skip's fried chicken in Wrightstown. That's a pretty big thing, Jim. Their
Yeah.
food is delicious. Anytime we're in that area, Newtown, Yardley, I'll always drive a little bit up there and go and go get some food. Other than that, I don't. It's a
No,
little tough.
Skip's good.
Sometimes we're always on the move, so it's like we're
No,
just
I
going
get
and
it. I
going.
mean, it's tough. I mean, again, with Skip's, like you have all these big chicken companies are coming in
Yeah,
now, like Dave's and all that stuff, and
no,
it's nice to support local.
yeah,
One last question,
yeah.
and then you'll get off the hot seat today. So, if you weren't being an entrepreneur, running all these businesses, what do you think you would be doing?
I would definitely be working for a township planning their events,
Oh
either
yeah,
Parks and Rec coordinator. Maybe I don't know about director. That seems like a lot, but that's that's what I love to do. So that's creating
that's
events for
awesome.
townships. That would be it.
That's nice. My sister does that out of media.
Awesome. Okay.
She
Awesome.
does. She runs the events she doesn't do the media for media, but
Hmm.
she runs the events, and she's done the fire ice and ice
Nice.
stuff and dinner on the stars. So you'll have to hook up with her.
Yeah. Thank you.
Go out there for a phone party. But Daniel,
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on today.
Yeah.
How can they find you?
Thank you for having me. Our website, pafuncompany.com or bucksbubbles.com. All of our brands also have Facebook, Instagram, but best way would just be going to pafuncompany.com, picking which of our services look the best, and you can contact us there. Birthday parties, schools, festivals. We do it all. We do it all.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see
Thank
what's
you.
coming up next. You've got 50 million companies. You're doing it all, and you're doing it the right way. You know
Thank you.
the local business. You're doing it on your own with the hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears. And I thank you so much.
Thank you
Guys,
for having me.
check out pafuncompany.com. Check out Daniel. Thank you for coming on to the podcast, and check us out next week.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining the podcast today. If you want to hear more, click the link below and check out our other episodes. If you're looking to be on the podcast, feel free to reach out to me, DM me, whatever you need to do. I'd love to hear your voice. I'd love to share your stories. Have a good one.